I gripped my chainsword tightly and led my squad through the dark corridors of this heretic ship. We had boarded this vessel after fierce void combat, leaving it disabled, its weapons down, its engines destroyed and burning, and ready for the taking. We are hunting, hoping to capture or kill the traitor captain, or whatever name they give themselves now, and his blasphemous companions. The ship belonged to the Black Legion. I am Sergeant Lokshan. I lead this strike force. I felt a surge of righteous anger as he saw the blasphemous symbols and banners that adorned the walls. Black Legion markings. Some of my men spit on the floor and muttered a prayer to the Emperor. They are right to do so. I feel the same. We are asking for his guidance and protection. We knew this mission was tainted by the dangers of chaos, but we also knew that it was our duty to purge the galaxy of such filth. Me and my brothers had sworn oaths to defend the Imperium and uphold the honor of the Covenant. Vulkan lives and watches over us. I had crossed blades in many battles against the traitors and all sorts of filth, and I had seen firsthand the horrors they wrought on innocent worlds. We had no mercy for them, only hatred. The flame of hatred that purifies the galaxy was ours. I checked my helmet's display and saw that we were nearing the main objective, the ship's bridge. I signaled my squad to prepare to breach. I knew that we would face the darkness, but I also knew that they had the advantage of surprise, as we are the monsters that come out of the shadows this time, with faith and steel. I activated my Vox and spoke to my squad. Brothers, as soon as we reach the bridge, we breach it. Remember your oaths, remember your training, and remember your faith. We are the Covenant, and we burn with the Emperor's light. We will not falter, we will not fear, and we will not fail. For Vulkan, for the Emperor! My squad replied with a chorus of affirmations and battle cries, eye to eye, tooth to tooth. I felt a surge of pride and brotherhood. I smiled behind my helmet and raised my power sword as we got to the bridge doors, already crackling with energy. Breach and move in! A huge plasma blast opened the doors towards the bridge. I sprinted towards the bridge, followed by my squad. I heard bolter fire and explosions behind me, but I ignored them. My boys are purging the filth. I focused on my target. I reached in deep, ready to face anything and anyone, and was met with a scene of carnage and chaos. The bridge was filled with corpses and blood, both human and alien. The traitor captain and his crew had been attacked by a horde of demons, twisted creatures spawned by the dark gods. I recognized some of them: bloodletters, plague bearers, screamers, and horrors. They were still fighting among themselves, and with the few surviving traitors. I felt a surge of disgust and fury. I hated demons even more than traitors. They were abominations that defied all reason and order. They were enemies of all life in the galaxy. They had to be destroyed. I roared a challenge and charged into the fray. I swung my power sword at a bloodletter, a red-skinned demon with horns and a sword of its own. The demon parried my blow and slashed at me with its blade. I dodged and countered with a kick to the chest. The demon stumbled back and I decapitated it with a swift stroke, 1 step and 2 moves. I moved on to my next target, a plague bearer, a bloated green demon with pus-filled sores and a rusted knife. You will embrace the gifts of our father's garden. No, you are just the trash I've come to sweep, you wretched abomination, I scream as I wield my blade. The demon lunged at me with its long knife, but I managed to block it with my power sword. I felt a wave of nausea as he smelled the foul stench, corruption and decay that seemed to turn the entire bridge into a nightmare. I kicked it away and took my bolt pistol. I fired as the thing now moved, avoiding the shots. He's trying to flank me, I thought to myself. It's waiting for an empty clip to jump. I fired and ran out of bolters, and the thing jumped out of cover right at me. But I was waiting for it, with my power sword held high with my other hand, and I cut the demon in half. The sound of bolter fire and chainswords quiets. All report now. No casualties, minor injuries only. No Imperial survivors on the vessel, Brother Sergeant. After I hear everyone on the Vox say we got no casualties, put plasma demolition charges on the bridge and engine rooms. Burn it all! Praise the Emperor, and set his enemies ablaze! Interested in discovering one of the Imperium's newest and most shrouded Space Marine chapters? Do you want to discover how they follow the teachings of Vulkan, the Primarch of the Salamanders, and wield fire as a symbol and a weapon? Do you want to see how they deal with chaos, xenos, and heretics in some of the most perilous parts of the galaxy? If so, Keep watching, because in this video I'll tell you everything you need to know about the Covenant of Fire chapter. Hello there, and welcome back. In this video, I'll explain everything you need to know about the Covenant of Fire, a loyalist Space Marine chapter, and a supposed Salamander's successor, as recounted by Archmagus Carl. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more Warhammer 40k content and short stories. The Covenant of Fire is a Primaris Space Marine chapter that was founded during the Ultima Founding by Archmagus Dominus Belisarius Carl. The Ultima Founding was a massive creation of new Space Marine chapters that used the gene seed of existing ones, as well as the new Primaris gene seed that Carl had been working on for centuries, under the orders of Roboute Guilliman, the Primarch of the Ultramarines, and Lord Commander of the Imperium. Carl kept the Salamanders mostly unaware of what new successor chapters were created from their gene seed, and whenever they did, they were usually eager to deploy a chaplain to the chapter to teach them the ways of the Promethean cult. The Promethean cult is a variant of the Imperial cult, in which the Emperor of Mankind is worshipped as the Promethean fire that guides and protects humanity. It is primarily followed by the Salamanders Chapter and their successor, as well as the people of Nocturne, their homeworld. The Primarch Vulkan's teachings, which took inspiration on both ancient Terran philosophy and Nocturnian mythology, form the foundation of the Promethean cult. The Promethean cult values self-sufficiency, loyalty, duty, patience, awareness, self-sacrifice, and most importantly, self-discipline and endurance. It teaches that the Space Marines are living weapons designed to protect and liberate humanity from its adversaries. It also teaches that fire is both a sign of creation and a symbol of destruction, and that it can be used to forge one's spirit and purge one's impurities. The sacred symbols of the Promethean cult are fire, the anvil, and the hammer. The Promethean cult also includes rites and practices that put one's body and spirit to the test. These include endurance and strength tests, which are sometimes marked by ceremonial scarring or branding, as well as meditation and reflection on Vulkan's knowledge. The Promethean cult also values and praises craftsmanship and skill, particularly in smithing. The Promethean cult worships only the Emperor and condemns all forms of superstition and deception. The Covenant of Fire gladly embraced the Promethean cult, quickly ingesting and applying their ancestor Vulkan's wisdom. The chapter also inherited some of its ancestors' physical characteristics, such as dark complexion and red eyes, as well as an aptitude for fire and smithing. The Covenant of Fire hunger for knowledge about the Imperium for which they fight, searching out lore wherever they may find it in the hope that it would help them bring light to darkness. In contrast, they delete any evidence of heretical or corrupt material they come across, understanding that such information is a false light that would only lead to ruin. Self-reliance, loyalty, obligation, patience, awareness, self-sacrifice, and most importantly, self-discipline and perseverance are all valued in the chapter. Let us pause here for a while, seeking out lore of the Emperor's real faith, and eliminating any and all heretical components they find. This is where some have said that this is one of Carl's produced chapters utilizing purified heretical gene seed. At least, that's what he says, as they might be successors from the word-bearers, Traitor Legion, more specifically from the Ashen Circle. It even hints in the name, doesn't it? Let's look at some parallels and differences. To begin, what exactly is the word-bearers' Ashen Circle? Between the Covenant of Fire and the Word-Bearer traitors, we arrive at the Ashen Circle, the Word-Bearer's 17th company, whose major goal is to eliminate heretical culture and progress in the faith. So far, it sounds familiar. The Ashen Circle wants to eradicate any culture, learning, or faith that contradicts their perverted worldview. They employ jump packs and axe rakes to descend from the skies, and use phosphex bombs to burn down libraries and shrines. They also display contempt and hostility for any sort of civilization or enlightenment that Lorgard does not approve of. The Ashen Circle fights for chaos, undivided, and the Dark Gods, adhering to its Primarch's Colchissian creed. The Covenant of Fire attempts to bring light into the darkness and to eradicate any evidence of heretical or corrupt material. They employ jump packs and hand flamers to attack enemy locations and ruin morale. They also value and respect workmanship and talent, particularly in the art of smithing. Let us now look at some more of the parallels and differences between them. The Word-Bearers and the Covenant of Fire are two Space Marine factions in Warhammer 40k that have certain similarities but also have variances. Both are devoted to their Primarchs, Lorgar and Vulkan, and adhere to a theological credo that governs their behaviour. Both chapters are also interested in accumulating and disseminating knowledge, but for different reasons and using distinct ways. However, the Word-Bearers are a traitor legion that betrayed the Emperor of Mankind during the Horus Heresy and became the first Chaos Space Marines as they erected monuments, temples, cities and entire worlds to worship the Emperor in an ironic prelude to the Imperial ecclesiarchy we know today. And they were heavily punished and humiliated by the Emperor himself in the destruction of Monarchia and the humiliation of the entire legion. They worship chaos, undivided, and strive to topple the Imperium and preach the truth of chaos to all people in the contemporary scenario. They are led by dark apostles who preach Lorgar's doctrines and instill zealotry in their adherents. They are also infamous for their iconoclasm, eradicating any remnants of Imperial or Xenos culture they come across. For the Covenant of Fire, they are a loyalist chapter and the Salamander's successor. Archmagos, Dominus Belisarius Call, formed them during the Ultima Founding, and they are entirely made up of Primaris Space Marines. They battle for the Imperium and the Emperor of Mankind, and they worship the Promethean cult, one of their forefathers. They aim to bring light into the darkness and to eradicate any evidence of heretical or corrupt content they come across. They are also distinguished by the hues orange, black, yellow, and gold. The Covenant of Fire and the Word-Bearers have clashed numerous times throughout their history, as they represent opposing sides of the conflict between chaos and order. The Covenant of Fire sees the Word-Bearers as misguided fools who worship a false god and a dead emperor, while the Word-Bearers see the Covenant of Fire as traitors who have abandoned their honor and humanity. The Word-Bearers frequently use demonic rituals, sorcery, and dark pacts to increase their power and summon companions from the warp, whereas the Covenant of Fire fights evil with faith, discipline, and technology. I'm sure the similarities and stories will continue as the lore of these many factions expands. Now that we've addressed all of the material that could make the inquisitorial forces nervous and open their eyes to see more clearly, let us return to what we know. The Covenant of Fire armor is orange with black helms, shoulder pauldrons, and arms. The shoulder pauldrons are trimmed in gold. The Aquila or Imperialis on the chest is made of gold as well. The chapter badge, an open book burning with flames, is displayed on the left shoulder guard. The squad number is inscribed in yellow low Gothic numerals on the right shoulder guard. The Astarte's yellow squad tactical speciality icon, battle line, close support, fire support, veteran or leadership is displayed on the left knee plate, which is black. The Covenant of Fire attacks opposing positions with jump packs and hand flamers, destroying morale. They also value and respect workmanship and talent, particularly in the art of smithing. They frequently create their own weapons and armor, imbuing them with personal symbolism and meaning. The Covenant of Fire has fought in numerous battles around the galaxy to protect the Imperium from its many adversaries. Among the notable examples are the Indomitus Crusade, Guilliman's enormous campaign to recapture lost worlds from Chaos and Xenos after the Great Rift tore reality apart. They battled with many other Primaris chapters, demonstrating their loyalty and bravery. The Covenant of Fire aided in the defense of Ultramar against the Death Guard invasion headed by Mortarion, the demon Primarch of Nurgle. They aided in the purification of numerous planets from Nurgle's filth and plague. The Pariah Nexus. Guilliman dispatched the Covenant of Fire to investigate and counter the Necron menace in the Pariah Nexus, an area of space where all mental activity was suppressed by unknown technologies. In this gloomy zone, they confronted numerous horrors and obstacles. That concludes this video. I hope you found the Covenant of Fire chapter interesting. If you did, please leave a comment and tell me what you thought. What do you enjoy most about this chapter? What are your pet peeves? What other topics do you want me to explore in future videos? Let me know your ideas. And most importantly, do you believe they are sons of Lorgar, the most loyal and later betrayed, or Vulkan, one of the loyalists and one of the Imperium's greatest heroes? Can these two parties agree on the Emperor's truth? We'll see. In the meantime, keep the candle blazing, my friends.